So are you a sailor, a pirate, or a cultist?
Arr, I am.
A sailor?
Arr,
A cultist?
arr.
Still have no clue.
Let's review it, mateys.
This is the review for the board game Feed the Kraken. The good and bad about it.
By the end of this video, you will know if this game is for you.
We have 6 burning questions that we will answer in this video, but before we do that, what is this game, Feed the Kraken, all about?
This is a Kraken feeding simulation game where you together as a crew travel on a ship and try to feed the poor Kraken because he's so hungry.
It's also a hidden role game. You all are sailors or pretend to be sailors because maybe actually you are pirates or a cultist leader.
I mean, I am not. I'm a sailor. Let's crack the box open. Get it? Let's crack the box.
So in this game, you are all in this tiny ship and you just try to get to different destinations.
If you are a sailor, you want to get to one of these 3 spaces. If you are a pirate, you want to get one of those 3 spaces. And if you are the cultist leader or a cultist, you want to get to this space. Or you want the cultist leader to be fed to the Kraken.
That means that that player needs to be thrown overboard?
Well, yeah, just fed to the Kraken. I mean, that's how you feed Kraken.
How do you know how to feed the Kraken if you're not a cultist?
I mean, I've heard stories.
To start off the game, each player will get a faction chip. We've been talking about the pirates and cultist leaders and sailors. That's how you know who you are. As well as you get a character card. There are different powers for each character, but most importantly, one of you will be the captain.
El Capitan! And the most important part of the captain is to assign a lieutenant and a navigator.
These are very powerful roles that will influence where the ship will go, so you are very interested that you, or either at least your teammates, get these roles. But we have a problem here on the ship, right?
No problem. Just assign me the lieutenant and we'll be fine. Or I will use my guns and you will not be the captain anymore.
Each round, there will be a chance for mutiny to happen. 3, 2, 1. If at least 3 guns are showed this way, mutiny happens. And the one who has the most guns will automatically be the captain, and now he chooses which roles he will give which players.
And we continue this way until the mutiny is not successful, and then we move on to the navigation phase.
Each of those roles will do a bit of a different thing. First of all, the captain and lieutenant will pick up 2 cards.
Navigation cards.
And each of those cards will show a direction. Each of us choose one of those, put inside a box.
Captain's log.
And then give it to the navigator.
For the sake of this video, I'll be the navigator and the lieutenant. So now, as a navigator, I can choose which of these 2 directions the ship will go. So when I choose this card, I leave it in the captain's log and pass it back to the captain. But if I did not like any of these choices, I could have jumped overboard and I would be out of the game and the navigator would be chosen again. Why would I do that? How is this fun? We'll talk about that later. This is just a rules explanation.
So now I pick up this card and see that we are going north. So I take the ship, move it north. Different powers that happen when you get different icons. We're gonna talk about them later as well. Wherever you move a ship, there might be a token. So if the ship moves to this token, then the captain can look at one player's faction and see what's in there. It's a hidden role game. You don't have to share the information, or you can lie. Giannis, are you lying?
Never.
He's lying.
If you move on to this token, you cut somebody's tongue off. Not literally, unless they want to. No, then you shouldn't as well. What it means is that player can't use words to communicate throughout the rest of the game, but he can do yeah. We have the deluxe version here, which replaces this token with a mini. But essentially there will be this token here, and if the ship moves here, what do? You feed the Kraken!
The captain chooses one player who we will throw overboard.
Me.
If he's so excited about doing it.
I'm the pirate. I'm the pirate, so it's safe to throw me over the board. Do it.
Okay, I throw you over the board.
I'm the cultist leader. Then I win.
In any other case, he's out of the game. He can't participate anymore. It's so quiet here. I'm gonna enjoy this review from now on.
Hey, I'm out of the game, not out of the review.
Oh,
Sorry.
crap.
Sorry.
Different powers, different actions, different everything, and tons of conversations and good times.
Who would you buy this for?
3, 2, 1. 7 friends.
You and 7 friends, or just 7 friends?
7 friends. I could be one of those friends, but I don't have a lot of friends. You're my only friend.
That's lie. That's lie. I mean, that's how it is playing this game with you. I mean, you're lying.
First of all, I think this game really shines at 7 and more players. We enjoyed it mostly with that amount. Yes, it's pretty cool with 5 people as well. Spoilers. Shines and is just so fun with 7 people. There's more roles, there's more people, there's bigger map.
We didn't explain that actually. Play on this side. Anybody who likes feeding the conversation. I get it? But not only. Actually, I'd play this with anybody. I think if you're quiet, you can play. If you're loud, you definitely can play. One of those few games that fits anybody. And now let's move on to the best things about this game. Third best thing for me in this game is how accessible and quick it is. Up to this point, my favorite like hidden role games have been Battlestar Galactica or its like reboot Unfathomable, and it's a really good game, don't ask him, but it takes like 3 hours to play, and it has quite a bit of all kinds of things happening. So does this, but those things are introduced gradually, and with 7, it's a 40-minute game.
If Giannis is playing and talking all the time, then it's longer.
Then I'll just jump overboard and stay quiet.
Once he actually did, best game I ever played is Mutiny. I enjoy that mechanism so much, because you will only have 3 guns for almost the whole game, so it's important when you use them.
Yes.
But you want those roles as well. You want to be navigator because he has so much control. Except speaking, that's the other biggest way you influence the game, and it's enjoyable and fun and always very like active.
My second one is AFK. It's away from Kraken. So in this game, you will get eliminated. Why am I putting this in the good things? Because it is fun to watch the game when you're out. If you're out, but your team wins, you still win the game. So you're still invested in how things are going to proceed. But just watching that from afar, will you mention how cultist recruits more cultists?
We will mention.
Then we'll come back to that. But just watching that, which he will mention later on, is amazing when you're out. You can choose to be eliminated if you're a navigator, jump overboard. And that feels such a huge and meaningful decision. I have to jump overboard. I have to sacrifice myself.
Also, the nice thing is this jumping out of the board almost always happens right at the end. Even if you jump out, it just like lasts 10 minutes. So it's not like you just watch all the time. And yeah, it feels really good because now you know what's happening and you see all the twists.
There is elimination, but you will never feel bad about it.
Yeah, first game where I feel like I kind of want to be eliminated. Number 2, the board game. Hidden role games for me feel like kind of almost like a social experiment. Werewolves, for example. It's just few roles and then conversations. It's kind of not a board game, right? This one is board game, and the board game elements for this hidden role game, fantastic. The deduction, the calculations, the logics about who is in your team, who's not, who you want to turn as a cultist. It really feels like a board game. It's not a social experiment, like I said. Plenty of things to do. The board game is fantastic in this hidden role experiment.
That's why my first thing, best thing, is there's action all the time. No matter which role do you have, which character you have, are you in the game or out of the game at some point, there's always things to watch and comment and look at. One of those few games where everything's interesting. You're invested in everything. Who's your friend? Why does he want to go there? Which card would I pick? Which ability on the card should I use? Should I jump overboard and be eliminated from this game? Yeah. Action all the time. It just flies by. We played at one time 4 times in a row. And I didn't feel like it felt 4 times in a row. I felt like this was just one big session of different stories.
The small things. How cultist leader can get other cultists in the game. Sometimes you will get a cultist event. When you choose one of the navigation cards, there is this icon. If that's the chosen direction, then cultists get their action. One of them is turning another player a cultist. Everybody closes their eyes, puts their hands in the middle, and whoever is the cultist leader gently touches the other person. And now Giannis is also a cultist. Nobody knows who just got turned. Who was it? This touching with your tentacles, fingers as well. Silly, stupid thing.
Yeah, but it works because every time when that has happened, everyone's really quiet for a while.
Yeah, that's just one of the small things. There's also choosing which direction, because obviously you want to choose your direction, right? But these powers as well is tricky. You don't want to give the cultist an extra turn or turn somebody a cultist. There's tons and tons of small things.
Why this game might not be for you. Are you ready?
Yep.
To trash this game?
Yeah.
We gave them impression that we like this game.
But
now
what
the truth
twist.
comes out.
What a twist.
Arr, that's what pirates do. Okay, I'm gonna start with the itty bitty rules. So we mentioned there's a lot of things and they're all cool, but there are a lot of things. It's easy to miss these itty bitty rules. One game, we totally forgot about the jumping overboard.
Overall, this game is really easy to teach, just as you would want for like a party game, right?
Yeah.
Just small things that you need to handle and explain and remind people. This I mentioned with Who Would You I Buy It For as well, but 7 people. And it's not that easy to get 7 people all the time. 5 is kind of okay, but you will enjoy it more with 7. Immediately, I can say to you, most likely you won't play it often, but when you do, you will probably love it.
It's fine with 5 and 6. I did enjoy it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it so much that we got together to get those 7 people. And then I even enjoyed it even more. So if you can only get like 6 people together, I still think this is a fine game. Well, this one's kind of obvious. It is a social deduction game. I mean, you don't like social deduction games? You most likely not gonna like this. It is very different though. I mean, all the social deduction games you've played, this is, I'm gonna say better.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna outright say it's better than any social deduction game you played, but it is still a social deduction game, and if none of you like to discuss things out loud, it's not gonna be a fun game, I think.
Test this one out. If you don't like this one, then Hidden Roll Games probably is not for you.
And what is the best alternative?
3, 2, 1. Deception Hong Kong. Because it is well for multiple players. It's also a thing where if you don't really enjoy hidden roll games, this one has enough board game like kind of material to hide your pain. It's kind of logic puzzle where one of you is the murderer. There might be accomplices, might not be. Not as action packed, but also something I would see for sure that I would play with the same people at similar situations.
Mine's gonna be Resistance Avalon. The problem with that one is what you mentioned is it's not enough of a board game. Because if you don't talk there or are not as loud as everybody else, nothing else to do except yell at everybody.
Yeah, and you're not gonna be louder than this guy, so there's no way you can do anything in that game.
And if I would have to choose Resistance Avalon or this, I would choose this every freaking time over Resistance Avalon. If somebody forgot to take Feed the Kraken, fine, we'll play Resistance Avalon. How long is the honeymoon? Until somebody feeds you to the Kraken.
3, 2, 1. Special occasions. This honeymoon will be probably long, but it will be split in like special occasions. If you like hidden roll games, it has to be in your shelf, and then when you have the right situation, you will pull it out.
I mean, every time I played, it never stops, and I keep thinking like, when's the next time I can get 7 people together? This is one of the best boarding experiences I've ever had. Spoiler alert. And but if you live in a big family, I guess that could be every night. And now, the final rating.
Do we even have to write it down?
I think we do, but I think they know what it is. Do you think you know what mine is?
Please, you just said you want to play it every night. I mean, it's okay.
I couldn't recommend to anybody else because this is my copy and nobody else can have it.
Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is just one of the best games I've played this year, if not the best game.
Wow.
You want me to continue?
Yeah.
I'll even raise the stakes. We recently talked about doing a video of all I
don't remember we having that conversation.
No, I didn't remember. We recently talked about the all-time greatest games video that we should do. Janis asked me, will something change there? There might. I mean, I'm considering this is... I just enjoyed so freaking much.
I guess we could write down must-have hidden roll game. Would explain it perfectly, but just a really brilliant design, and it's fun from A to Z. That's all you can ask for board games. And even after A to Z, you play it again, and then again. It's fun.
You don't particularly enjoy hidden roll games?
No, I usually don't, because if not me, then somebody else feels awkward, or there's something, just some mechanisms that feel like I could do something else. But here, no. Because it's a board game.
It is a board game.
It's a freaking board game, and it's freaking good at that. Yeah. And that's our review for this game, Feed the Kraken. I hope you know if this game is for you. And do a few things for us, please.
Subscribe, like, check out our Patreon, or get fed to the Kraken. Unless you are the cultist leader and you want to get fed to the Kraken.
Then yeah, we're not gonna throw you overboard. Are you?